Hi, welcome back to my channel. You read the title right. Watch this when you feel ugly. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name is Isabella. Welcome to my channel. And if this isn't your first time here, welcome back to my channel. I know it has been a long time since I uploaded a video, but life has kind of taken me by the throat and totally rocked my world. So I'm actually filming this from Florence, Italy right now, where I am studying for the next few months. And I didn't feel like I had a lot to say. A lot of things were happening, but I just couldn't really find the words to talk here, which for me, that's saying a lot. So some things have changed, and I feel like I have a lot to say. I have a new book that is coming out in the next few weeks, so that's very exciting. And a lot of things have changed being in a foreign country. So, since being in Italy, people look very different here. People live a completely different lifestyle. So I kind of wanted to take the opportunity to talk about some things I was feeling lately. And if this resonates with you, I'm glad. And if this helps, leave a like and a comment down below. And yeah, let's get into it. Feeling ugly. I think, especially as a younger person, you feel that way because, of hormones and your peers, and you're kind of developing as a person. So you don't have a set image of who you are, whether that's in your appearance or inside, which, could make you feel different or ugly on the outside. But as you grow, obviously you develop as a person and you figure out who you are. But it's kind of annoying when adults tell you, oh, don't worry, you're going to feel better when you're older. Okay, then what am I supposed to do with this horrible, despairing feeling that I'm not good enough or that I'm ugly right now? And sure, anyone can tell you, especially me. You can read all of the self help books you want, you can watch all of the videos about feeling more attractive. It's just not that simple. You know, you can take tons of advice from people about how to feel better about what you look like. But to be fair, it's just not exactly going to work. Like, you can tell yourself, if you don't really genuinely find yourself attractive, telling yourself that you do isn't going to change that. While I do believe that affirmations can be a very powerful tool in your self-love and self-growth journey, it's not a light switch. You can't just go from thinking that you're unattractive, or you feel like some days, like where you feel like you can't even walk out of the house because of how you look. That's not going to change by looking in the mirror and saying, I'm so beautiful, I look like a Victoria's Secret angel, or I'm a Giga Chad. Like, that's just not how it works. It's not going to change that simply. So I'm not going to tell you that. I'm going to give you some real advice as someone who has severely struggled with their appearance their entire life. Which, despite never being specifically told that I was ugly, I kind of realized that I wasn't being treated the same as other girls in my age group, but that was for a different reason. We're going to get into that. If you are being told that you're ugly, that is a projection of someone else's own insecurities. And of course, don't blame yourself, because of course, if someone tells you something, every single day, once, a few times a week, whatever, if you hear something often enough, of course you're going to start to believe it. It's like anything else. If you could take religion for an example, if you're told from the day that you're born that a certain God is real, that a certain religion is the way to live your life, of course you're going to believe that fact because that's what you were told your entire life. So if you can imagine, you know how your brain is, you can imagine how much more powerful your thoughts are and how much more sway those thoughts have over your perspectives and opinions. So like I just said, if you continue to tell yourself, oh, I'm ugly or I'm unattractive, of course, or if people continue to tell you that, whoever it is in your life, of course you're going to believe that. So don't blame yourself. That's just how your brain is wired. But that doesn't mean that you can't change that opinion. So, for some personal background, The reason why I kind of started to believe that I was ugly, which looking back on photos of my younger self, where it's really sad to look at my younger self and see that she was absolutely perfect the way that she was. And I wish that she knew that. And I feel terrible for, being so mean to myself, especially in the ages of like middle school and high school, where I was literally just becoming my own person. I didn't even know anything yet. And I'm only a sophomore in college now. I'm not my final version of myself yet. I don't think there is a final version of ourselves ever, because we're constantly growing and evolving as beings. But the reason why I believed I was ugly was because I was getting no male attention. Okay? And unfortunately, I believed through media, movies, books, TV shows, social media, that your attractiveness or how beautiful you were was deemed by how many guys pursued you. Like, I dreamed of having the 90s like transformations at the end of romance movies where the guy finally noticed her. Being with magazines, even with, I consume a lot of like fantasy content, like fairy tales. Even all of those stories, reading the Grimm's fairy tales, I could tell you the first thing that's described in those stories is the beauty of the female character and how she was desired by every male in the land. So I realized I was getting basically pretty much zero male attention from any of my peers. And that didn't, looking back, that doesn't mean I was ugly, but then I really genuinely believed, okay, no guy wants me, I'm ugly. But I failed to consider the fact that I also was not promiscuous. I never dressed anything other than modestly. While I still wore flattering clothes, I didn't try to appease to someone, if that makes sense. I wasn't sleeping around. I wasn't hooking up. I still don't do that. I still have never slept with anyone. I've still never hooked up with anyone like that. So I wasn't giving guys what they wanted. If their jokes weren't funny, I didn't laugh. If I didn't like who they were, I didn't pretend that I did. If they said something offensive, I stood up and I said something about it. And usually younger guys don't really enjoy the presence of females. I even hate using that word, but the presence of women or girls that don't just heed to their every word or action. So guys really kind of avoided me because I was very outspoken. And so, even though I didn't even like the guys that didn't find me attractive, as far as I knew, I still felt ugly. Like, even though I didn't even want them to find me attractive, these specific guys, I was still devastated that they didn't, because media places so much value on the female appearance. I cannot tell you how many times in my life I have been fooled to attempt to completely reconfigure my entire appearance. The amount of workout plans, diet plans, the amount of times I've changed my wardrobe, all the new makeup routines every 6 months, all the new products, the face washes, the skincare, everything you can imagine, because I believed that beauty was based around if the opposite sex found me attractive. Now, you can't read people's minds. If you walk down the street believing that everyone thinks that you're ugly, you're not even considering the possibility that maybe even a few people are looking at you and finding you attractive. But that's the thing. It shouldn't be about if other people find you attractive. You should do things for your appearance that make you feel good. And I know that that's really hard in a society that constantly shoves down your throat the idea of being attractive for somebody else. It's just that simple. Look at the movies you watch. Look at the social media you're consuming. Even things like TikTok and Instagram. I haven't had TikTok for almost 3 years now. I wish that I never downloaded it in the first place, because downloading it in the first place at all created insecurities in me that I never would have had. I had no idea that there were things like that you could be insecure about, because I was very lucky to be raised in a household that always validated me and told me how special I was, and that my beauty came from more than just my outside. But unfortunately, the media tends to play a larger role in your life than that sometimes. It, Look at what you're consuming. Take a second to look at the movies. This entire world is a business. If they don't prey on your insecurities, if they don't make you believe that you're ugly, how are you going to buy their products? Think of it that way. Consider the source, remember the motive. So when you see those skincare commercials, not saying it's a bad thing to take care of your skin. Absolutely, you should take care of your skin. But having acne or different skin patterns doesn't make you ugly. It doesn't. The media wants you to believe that having a certain kind of skin makes you attractive, but that doesn't mean that it does. You need to redefine your definition of beauty. Take out the opinion of the opposite sex when you consider your beauty. Take out social media. If all media didn't exist, what is your true opinion of beauty? And go based off of that. Like, I know that, especially when going out, I never usually go out, but I'm in Italy, so I decided, okay, let me like go out to a club with my friends and see what happens. And I can tell you how people dress for someone's attention, that kind of thing. You don't have to do that. If the difference between someone being with you is a particular outfit you wore with how much your boobs or your ass was showing, I don't really think that you want to be with them, ultimately. So consider where you're getting your information from. Delete your social media. That's what I've done since being here. I've deleted Instagram and Snapchat, which are really the only other social medias I use. And it's wild what a difference it makes not having it. You don't have that constant comparison of things that are not even real. The amount of videos I've watched debunking attractive influencers and how fake they actually are, it's astounding, and yet we still fall for it every time. Even though we know social media is fake, we fall for it every time because we're human beings and we believe in the surface of things as we see them, as they're presented to us. So don't beat yourself up. And sure, yeah, there are unbelievably, stupidly, ridiculously attractive people out there, but 90% of the time they have surgery, or their parents have the most insane genetics that you've ever known. They have a lot of money to constantly alter their appearance, and I don't even just mean surgery. Gym memberships, or clothing, or they can buy the most expensive makeup out there, or they have a personal stylist. You don't know the level of effort that goes into somebody's posts. Like, you don't know the extensive routine that they put themselves through. They could have an eating disorder behind closed doors that gives them that small waist that they don't talk about that. There's just a lot going on that we just simply don't know. Their entire career could be their appearance. I had a close friend of mine, actually, who lives in Italy, who told me something when I was talking with him about being insecure about my appearance. He actually had a really great perspective. He said, Bella, you're comparing yourself to people who are attractive because it's their job. Think about that for a second. The people you're comparing yourself to, their entire job is to be attractive. So where you or I might be working at McDonald's or an insurance company or whatever, their job is literally to have a 20-step skincare routine, only eat 4 certain foods, and go to the gym 8,000 times a week. Like, that is their job. They make content because they are attractive. Like, that's what their job is. So think about it with the same dedication that you have clocking into your job. It's literally their job. And I never thought about that before, especially with people who make like sex workers or people who make like OnlyFans content. Their entire job is to appease to your primal sexual desires. So of course, all of their content is going to be based around that because that makes them the money. So it's an interesting thought. These are the kind of things that I try to think about whenever I'm feeling insecure. And the reason why I'm filming this video today is because I actually woke up feeling very insecure. Because, I mean, people in Italy are just all around more beautiful because they live a really beautiful way of life. They take very good care of themselves. They find a lot of pride in their appearance, and it's just very different to American culture. But it's also that they're all gorgeous, so their parents all sleep together and create even more beautiful babies. So that's unfair. But no, I'm joking, of course. But I was at the club last night, and I was dancing, and I was just instead of like enjoying being there with my friends, while I did have moments of that, I was focused on, wow, all of these women are so much prettier than I am. Like, I'm not going to get any attention because look at all of these women. Why would I get attention? And yet, my guy friend who was there with me was constantly pointing out guys that were clearly trying to dance with me and pursue me, but I could not focus on that because I was so focused on the idea that I was ugly. If you have that inner thought and that inner belief, it reflects in your energy. I can promise you that. The difference on how I look on days where I'm feeling incredibly confident and I take the time to put extra care into my appearance and my outfit versus the days that I am wearing unflattering clothing and don't brush my hair or no makeup. Not saying that you need makeup to be beautiful. That's not my point. But days that I just kind of like close into myself, or like even my posture is like not good. Those days, it's astonishing how I've looked the same those 2 days, but it's the difference is in my energy and how I carry myself. So when you feel yourself start to feel that way, acknowledge that insecurity is temporary, and it's also kind of a primal thing, because at the end of the day, biologically, we're all still animals. And as dumb as it sounds, going to a club or a party or an event like that is a kind of a mating dance in a way. We're all trying to attract mates that we're attracted to. So you see the other women as competition. And not that you actually see them that way, but that's what your brain is saying because we're animals. So don't base your entire value around your appearance, because there is so much more to you than that. There was a quote that I saw the other day that said, if you passed away, do you think people would describe you for how small your waist is? Or how your skin was so tight? Or that you were cat pretty or dog pretty, or, all of those stupid archetypes, or that you were dark feminine or soft feminine? Do you really think people would remember you by the size of your boobs or your butt or how shiny your hair was? No, they would remember you and why they loved you for your character. I would never, all of my friends, of course, are the most beautiful women in the world to me. I would never abandon them if I believed they were ugly. But they're not. They never will be. Even if they had what people would consider ugly features, they're always going to be beautiful to me because I love them for who they are on the inside. And I know that that's very cliche, but beauty is just so much more than the outside. But let me tell you something. It's propaganda. They want you to believe that the beauty is on the outside. Because if you don't believe that, why are you going to go on the diet? Why are you going to buy the workout program? Why are you going to buy those new clothes or makeup or hair care products? You won't buy the product if you're not insecure, okay? If everyone was secure in themselves, all those industries would be dead. That is why they pump our social media with content that makes us feel insecure, because it's a business. It's not because you're actually ugly. And you should never base your opinion of yourself around other people. But I know that it's so hard to say in a society where we're constantly comparing ourselves to other people. You're not alone in this. And trust me, I've been there so many times, and I still am there today. And sometimes I wonder, will there be a time where I consistently feel good about my appearance? But I just wanted to film this as a reminder that you are worth so much more than what your face looks like or what your body looks like. And you are good enough as you are. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care what your For You page tells you. You have always been good enough as you are. You were created like this for a reason. There are so many things that happen every single day, and there are so many chances of you not being born, and yet here you are. It's like a billion one chance that you are born exactly the way that you are. So why change something that was so incredibly rare and a miracle in the first place? Sure, you can alter your appearance if you don't like something about it. Lord knows this isn't my natural hair color. I'm naturally a blonde, and I think black suits me better. There is a lot of power in taking control of your appearance and altering it to a way that you think is beautiful. I absolutely agree with doing that. I think there's a lot of power in that. But please know that you are good enough exactly as you are. Don't fall for the marketing. You don't need the lip filler. You don't need the buccal fat removal. You don't need liposuction. Just have a healthy lifestyle and avoid social media if you can. I'm so serious. I know it seems like, oh, what am I going to do without social media? I've actually had time to do the things that I want to do without social media. The hobbies that make me feel like a kid again. I'm not missing out on my life because of that. Get rid of the social media. Drink more water. Take your medication. Eat a balanced, healthy diet. Work out. Do workouts that are fun, things that you enjoy. Spend time with your friends. I know I never feel more beautiful than when I spend time with my friends and cherish and cultivate my friendships that are real and genuine and loving, and just we push each other to be better. I never feel more beautiful than I do with those interactions. So dress how you want for you. Even if other people think it's the stupidest, most ridiculous thing in the world. Live your life, take the focus away from the mirror, and turn the focus inside. Because I can tell you, as someone who's been on a very intensive up and down self-love, self-growth journey for the last few years, you could wear all the makeup in the world, the most expensive clothes, have the hottest partner. You're not going to feel beautiful. You're just not. You have to deal with you first. You need to talk to you first. If you're neglecting that inside, you're never going to feel beautiful. And you deserve to feel beautiful. Please hear me when I say that. You deserve to feel beautiful. And when you finally feel beautiful, unaffected by other people's opinions, watch how your life blooms. There's another quote. If you chase butterflies, they will always escape your grasp. But if you create a beautiful garden, the butterflies will come to you. So if you turn inwards, instead of chasing the things that you think you want, if you turn inwards and focus on yourself and do the deep work to love yourself and build yourself up as a person, all the blessings will come to you. The universe or God or whoever you may believe in is not going to give you more if you don't appreciate what you already have. So if no one tells you today, you are beautiful, I love you, and you deserve to be beautiful. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I know this was a little bit of a shorter video. I am going to try to make some more videos while I'm here. And yeah, check out my new book. I will be posting about it soon on my Instagram. And yeah, thank you very much for tuning in today, guys, for taking the moment to listen to something that can better you as a person. Bye.